think we just got going for the evening. Hopefully you guys can see this and hear me just fine. Welcome to the Open Seat Network. We are today doing Monday's Dragon Ball Super stream. This is going to be a normal Monday night show at 8 p.m. Well, as close to 8 as I can do it. Some days, obviously, I'm hoping to have my partner, Parrish, on as well, out of El Paso. And then, of course, my name's Phil, and I'm out of Austin. We play Dragon Ball, we play games, we do everything on Open Seat. Tabletop to video games to pretty much anything else in between. So, tonight, obviously, we are doing our Dragon Ball talk show. Unfortunately, I hate to put it this way, Parrish couldn't be here because of some internet issues, but that's okay. I'm just gonna have to get along without him. So let's see here. We've got obviously set 4 is about to come out. We've got a let's see here. I apologize. I'm trying to make sure that everything is going good over here too. Silly things. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, we just started the Twitch program, the Twitch setup again. So unfortunately, I'm still trying to get used to all of the bells and whistles that I can pull over through OBS and everything else. So forgive me a little bit on that. So set 4. Comes out in 11 days, which is kind of crazy. And we've got just obviously tomorrow, Wednesday, we got the 4th of July here in America. The rest of the world obviously is dealing with some of our unfortunate choices. Nah, I'm kidding. Let's not get political, right? So since we can't have Parrish here tonight, I'm going to try to just go through some of the stuff that we were talking about. There's going to be an even faster meta. It seems like we don't really have a choice about the matter at this point. It's just we're going to deal with this faster meta. And so with that in mind, I feel like it's probably time to talk about why we're dealing with that really fast meta and kind of come up with stuff that either keeps us in the driving seat of that or hopefully gives us some type of fighting edge against it. In my case, I built just a quick deck, and it's nowhere near tuned yet. It's not really ready to do everything in the world with. Obviously, I need to make some changes to it, but it kind of takes advantage of some of the really strong new things that set 4 are going to bring to us. Right now, we've got in set 4 this new card, the Legendary Flute, which if you haven't seen this yet and you haven't heard about everybody complaining about it online yet, well, I'm going to tell you about it right now. It's nasty. It is just one of the nastiest cards I've ever seen. For 0 cost, if you are, and obviously you can read it on the screen right now, it's activate main, so obviously only during your turn, but that's totally fine. If your leader card is blue, choose up to one of you or your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and return it to your owner's hand, or into its owner's hand. If that card was your own battle card, draw a card. So, there are so many cards in red and blue and pretty much any color out there that are 3 or less and that we kind of depend on to be able to keep going in the game right now. And one of the things that I really love is the fact that obviously with DBS decks, which, obviously it's one of the best resources out there if you want to build decks and be able to get all your information all in one place. There are so many cards now that you can just play for 3 or less. It's just ridiculous. So obviously in a deck that I'm going to call gas, we're trying to pump the gas as much as possible. With our new intensifying power trunks, we've got this. It's saying Kaba except with critical instead of double strike. Why is that amazing? Well, we all know how good critical is. Critical says that you get to sit and watch your opponent not be able to plus on with the catch-up mechanic of his life being able to get to his hand. So they're going to have to be throwing cards to be able to stop your attacks. That means you're going to see early negates now. You're going to see people that are trying to out-combo you. And you're going to be able to see things that, honestly, you're going to see a lot of early game not knowing what to do. Well, with obviously heightened evolution and Son Goku / SS3 heightened evolution Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku, we have the ability to drop 2 energy at the beginning of the game. Well, if you're going second, your opponent's probably tapped out because of that first turn play. And with a really, it's a simple combo that we've had forever, you're already hitting for 25,000. A 25,000 double strike crit straight to the face. And especially if they were playing, let's say, Super Saiyan as well, you just dropped them to 4. And they didn't get 2 of their cards. It cost you a 3rd life, which in Super Saiyan 3, do you care? No, you don't. You just want to see how fast you can knock them down and call it a day. So in this deck, I did the very basics of what most people are looking at for the speed meta these days. Took the intensifying power trunks. Took, of course, Saiyan Kaba because there's nothing better than going down to 1 life and having 3 Kabas swinging on your last turn and they don't have an answer. Even there's going to be a lot less yellow in the next set, and the reason for it is because Deflect is so popular, and there's going to be a lot of people going, I don't know what to do, because there's just not enough stuff to I should say the yellow player is going to be sitting there going, well, I don't know what to do because I can't Cold Bloodlust anymore. I can't counterplay, period. I can't Crusher Ball. I can't do any of these things that I would normally do. And don't get me wrong, you're still going to have a lot of people that are going to still try to Crusher Ball and Cold Bloodlust as many things as they can. But with all those super rares out there that say, sorry, no, you're looking at a really different meta. And especially with red, where aggro gets super strong super quick, there are 12, 16, 20 cards right here that are under our 3 cost for Legendary Flute. They're also perfect cards that people would want to attack while they're rested. So, of course, we're using Vados' Assistance instead of the blue Whis' Coercion Negate. And then on top of that, I'm using stuff that we can either draw or get crit off of easily in our black cards, which I feel like both Desperate Onslaught Bardock and, of course, Time Patrol Trunks, they're just kind of staple cards still. Well, obviously Desperate Onslaught, a little bit different, but yeah, I feel like this is actually a decent card for this set, and I feel like we're going to see a lot more really usable spots for this card as of the next set, because obviously that's when it comes out. Let's see here. We've got Foreseeing Hit and Miraculous Comeback Gohan, and of course Chain Attack. I'm keeping Chain Attack in there actually mostly for energy and for the potential of being able to go to it as an evolve target for 2. Because if you can evolve Trunks in and then start dropping a 15,000 power card, for example, Fearless Pan on turn 2, you can all of a sudden have intensifying power Trunks and actually even turn 1. My goodness, I missed things that I was building into this list without even meaning to. But with the fact that you can get a Fearless Plan in to give double strike to every red out, You could if you could survive first turn with 2 intensifying power trunks out, you got to think about how good that setup would be. You hit pan, all of a sudden they're all 20,000. They're all, I mean, you're going to go down to what, 3 life, and oh no, at the end of turn you're still going to have all 3 of your energies back up. Most of the deck obviously is also set up as 5,000 power combos, except for our supers and Miraculous Comeback Gohan and Furthering Destruction. Everything else is a 5,000 power combo, so it's free. We can keep getting those cards back. We can keep getting through our deck. The idea here is that we're trying to go as fast as humanly possible. For Seeing Hit, it's obviously a turn 4 play, but this is to warp out of their hand any of those really big things that you don't want to see their turn 4 or your turn 3. Miraculous Comeback Gohan, obviously, as you're playing gas, and getting rid of all of these 5,000 power cards as you're playing, you want to be able to get to, you want to be able to play Miraculous Comeback Gohan for 2. And as you play Miraculous Comeback Gohan for 2, all of a sudden you're attacking their cards that are still sitting on the board that are, you're attacking their cards on the board that are in active mode, and if you knock them out, they're taking damage. It's just kind of one of those things where most people just say, okay, there we go, we've got that. And I'm so sorry, not attacking it in active mode. My apologies, misspoke. It's, again, this is why I was hoping to have Parrish. Parrish keeps me straight on a couple of abilities when I'm thinking out loud and just going through them. The idea here is that we're going to be trying to attack as quickly as possible. We're trying to do as much damage as possible, and most of these cards back off of each other in some way. When you start bouncing cards back to your hand, you've got your blocker other than Pan, so you've got Pan and Letic, and that way you can bounce Pan back to your hand so that you can replay the play this card abilities with Legendary Flute. And it protects Pan too, because Pan's going to be one of the first things that people are going to try to take out. And I can't really blame them for that, because it's a super powerful card, especially combined with stuff that has crit. And there are so many cheap crits now. And if Burst Attack Son Gohan is not I would say probably a $20 promo, I'm going to be really surprised. Now, don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be like set 3. It's going to start really high and then drop pretty quickly because of the massive flood of promo cards. And if that happens, hey, great for the person that wants to run it, right? I still think that it's worth every penny, whatever it ends up being, especially since this card can be splashed into Universe 7 decks without any issue. In fact, I could probably see this could easily go into U7 Frieza. This could go into, wow, there's so many options with this card. Obviously, I also think that this is probably also going to boost up Miraculous Comeback Gohan a little bit in price again, mostly just because set 2 is not purchased as much anymore. There's not as many copies of it out there. So instead of, like a $7 to $8 card, we're probably looking at more like a $10 to $12 card again. Obviously, since we're running a blue leader, we had to use Boost Attack Piccolo. Time Patrol Trunks is just kind of a get your draw, have another attacker on the board. I also really like it because it removes things from your... obviously, because of Overwhelm and it's cheap, you're going to be probably getting to Overwhelm targets pretty quick from people trying to knock stuff out. Plus, if you're Furthering Destruction Chomping, other things like that. I mean, Furthering Destruction Champa is pretty much a card. The only way that this would be bad is if you dropped both of these out of your flip over from your life from SS3's leader ability. And even then, I don't think that you're doing bad. I feel like you've got a lot of draw here. You've got a lot of overall ability. and I feel like this deck would actually probably stand up at any locals without much of an issue. You're going to start running into problems with it probably around turn, I would say turn 2, maybe turn 3, especially against any type of Son Goku mirror. That's going to be a really tough fight because they're obviously going to be right with you with energy. If that's not the case, then I also feel like anytime that you got to the point where they were able to tax you with like U7 Frieza, because you're obviously really needing all of these autos to go off. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles on that, unfortunately. But at the same time, I'm not too sure that that's really a bad thing. I think that, every deck needs some type of drawback, because otherwise then we get into the Mecha Frieza situation again, where we have a card that's just too good and it kept getting better as new cards came out. Since obviously intensifying power trunks isn't uncommon, you're probably going to be able to get those pretty cheap, probably like $2 a piece max. I think Bodyguard Letic gives you a lot of answers to drop when you don't have blockers or anything else that you can drop for that turn, or if you don't already have a Fearless Pan out or something like that. This gives you another way of doing it. At least gives you a blocker on the board to be able to tap and get rid of some attack that's coming towards you, because obviously you're going to be shorting life really quick. Best case scenario, I would think your first turn play is intensifying power trunks, and I would actually probably not attack, like this is saying going first, obviously you can't attack then. If you're going second, I'd actually probably not attack first turn. I would actually wait. I would attack second turn and either further in destruction, something, and then evolve into chain attack. And the reason for that is so that you could then go to Fearless Pan, drop that, drop your other cards. You're getting double strike, you're getting a blocker on board. It's probably your best fight, but again, it may be just drop to intensifying power trunks. Go for maybe not first turn attack with them, second turn attack, and awaken, and allow them to die. Just say screw it, go for it. You can also Kaba then, or combo with Kaba. There's with 5 cards, obviously 10% of your life. You're hoping that you don't see those when you SS3 from your life. I don't have the math on me on that, unfortunately, but. Oh, and hey, thanks for joining us, man. Sorry, I just saw the chat just now. I'm going to actually respond to you through the chat, too. So I think that this is something that we could see a real gas push quick. And I feel like this is going to be kind of the new red meta and this style. Obviously, there's probably better cards for some of these slots. This is my first time running through it. I built it trying to come up with something that I felt was the best way to deal with some of the new cards, but also give us the best shot of being able to attack fast. Visitor in our chat obviously is one of our gentlemen from El Paso, which is where Parrish is actually out of. Give me 1 second. I'm going to actually grab, if I've got it around here. Yeah, I do. I'm going to grab the Mira deck real quick so we can talk about it. All right, man. Hey, so obviously you were wanting to know about Mira and how to do some stuff with. You know what? I'm just going to build a new deck real quick, and we can go through some of the cards. This is why I love this deck builder. It's super, super nice. Let's see. Let's go leader, but we need black leader. Mira. No. There's the mirror I want. Alright, so this is a Dark Warrior Mira deck. Mira. So some of the stuff that we Parrish and I were kicking around on this, and this was originally his pure build. I just did some different changes because we both had different ideas, and he didn't have any chilling terrors, which I thought was just a real, I don't know, kind of a sad thing. So there's some classic stuff that we need in here because obviously we are running a black leader. So first things first, let's get our super combos. And then I'm going to grab the 3-drop Mira 2 while I'm in here. Relentless Destruction. Yeah. Actually, I think it's 3. Then we're going to get our super combo. And this is obviously set 3 current, not set 4 ready. There's a few things in set 4 that we would change, I believe. Yeah, there's a few things in here that we could change for set 4. So set 3, as of set 3, this becomes sort of your backbone after your cell drop to 3. You're gonna run create Android because it allows you to get anything with Android in the name, so that you can search out your Android 17s and 18s when you need them. There is, let's see here, 2 drops, 3 drops. 3 drops is what we need next. And then Terrible Creator. Terrible Creator's in here, isn't it? Gosh, I haven't looked at this deck. Yeah, okay. And then we are going to go to, I haven't looked at this deck in about 2 weeks, so let's do 3. Let's do 3. We actually don't run the blocker, but there's a reason for it. It just doesn't do enough. I also love the Infinite Energy Android 18 more than a bunch of the other 18s that you can run because of the fact that when you're running it, you can combo with it. Oh wait, yeah, Universe 7, sorry. Different synergy than in my mind than what I'm trying to do. Let's take Infinite Energy out. Twin Sister and Twin Brother. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, that's 8, and then we've got 7, 8. Let's see. Think of any Maiden Transformation. That one's not gonna work. And then we need our cell chain. So this is kind of the easiest part. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our 5 drops. The 5 drops are really more up to what you want to do. Obviously, you want some evolving life form cells because they have the ability to go to 7 drop. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The weirdest part is that like I run power stealing and forceful strike. It depends on what I'm trying to do at the time. So it's power stealing and forceful strike. Both of them have different reasons. I use forceful strike when I need something out that I want my opponent to attack. Obviously, we don't want to waste too many of the 5 drops. slots, because obviously this is where we get to our 7 drop easily. And we kind of have to be careful of what we're doing to get to that point, because otherwise these are really great 5 drops no matter what. If you need to self-awaken, this is the way you do it. If you need to punish your opponent, you can get cards from their combo area, but the main thing is the revenge, because they're obviously trying to kill you. You're wanting to kind of kill them in return. Shock no one. That gives you some type of way of doing it. And from here, I've got 5 slots left that I am... Oh, no I don't. I have 1 slot left, because obviously we need to also go to our perfect force cell. And this is only going to give you a base understanding of how I built the deck. Parrish builds it a little bit different, and both of us have had really good luck with it. It's not... Okay, in the current meta, it can be slow. And the problem with most of the new leaders, and this is where it gets bad for me, is Chilling Terror is a great drop to prevent awakening. You can prevent their awakening without them having to waste energy or something to get to it. But the problem is that in this particular case, well, I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can either accept the fact that we're going to have some issue. We're going to have 1 less 17 to use. The other side of it is that Chilling Terror just doesn't stop the energy poppers, like the ones that pop up 2 more energy instead of draw. But the good news is that for the price, this deck is really budget friendly comparatively to most decks in this game. The most expensive cards in my build of it are obviously the Perfect Force and then Chilling Terror. Well, since you can go with another 3-drop 17 without any issue, no big deal, you don't have to run this one. And Perfect Force, it's probably going to go down in price a little bit more because there's so much cell hate in set 4. In this deck, it's literally just drop whatever you want for energy, play Create Android if you need to. And excuse me, he's not the one that searches. It's this searches for up to 3, and then this lets you choose 1 battle card and its name other than Android 20 from your deck and add it to your hand. That's your 2-drop in case you need to find what you're looking for. Well, you know what? Let's just go through it. So Mira has 2 cards in the deck in the drop area so that you can get your excuse me, so that you can get your warp going as quickly as possible. Once you get to 4 life, choose 1 card in your warp. So the thing that we found, especially in this deck, is the fact that people are going to be dropping cards from our hand and trying to crit us as much as possible so that we can't keep our hand up. And the reason for that is so that we can't cell chain as easily. If you don't have the cards in your hand to cell chain, well, you can't really do anything. This lets us get cards back, like super combos to reuse, negates if we needed them. Actually, we don't even have negates in this. I keep forgetting how we did this. Sorry about that. Your turn 3 plays are your Dreadful Duos. I really love, if you can, wait for turn 4 and Dreadful Duo 18 especially. The once per turn activate green. You can do this at any point. It doesn't matter if you've already attacked or not. During that turn, if the opponent's battle card with an energy of 4 cost or more has been placed in the drop area from any area by one of your skills, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 3 or less and KO that card. And then, if you can also do it the other way with the critical Dreadful Duo 17. Pay an energy during the turn if your opponent's battle card with an energy of 3 or less has been placed in the drop area. From any area with your skills, choose up to 118 with a cost of 3 or less from your hand and play it. So this gets you more attackers on the field with crit, That way you can also evil life form another turn when their hand is ready to go, because if you're playing any of the aggressive decks right now, it's pretty much how fast can we draw our entire deck into our hand, and let's just keep beating into things. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. Sorry that you can't see the information now. That's weird. Should be coming through without any issue. Yeah, it's coming through on my end. What I'll do is I'll let you know. You can always watch this again on our site after the event or after the stream is over. It'll automatically save and you can watch it through there. But yeah, I'll be happy to send you this base list that I'm working on right now. If that's something that would be useful to you. We are. Let me just get through this, and I think I'll probably call it a night tonight, only because I had a lot more to talk about with Parrish, and unfortunately all those notes are kind of useless. So right now we've got Dr. Giroux, that's so that you can look at the top 3, find an android, add it to your hand on first turn. You can also do the first turn create android. I like create android a little bit better because you just draw 2 cards, which gives your hand a lot more fluff. The other side of it is that you can then fill up your drop area so that you can drop Mira. You want to drop Mira as soon as you hit them with Cell. And obviously with all of the hate for with all of the hate that is out there with barrier and everything else, obviously it's really hard to union and get a good KO, but you can get a draw off of it. And then the main thing is that you drop them down to 3, and then you drop them to 2. And a lot of times I don't attack unless it's crits at that point. And there's just enough crit in the deck that you can kind of take your time. This deck is made to kind of pop out what you kind of want them to just get their hand down. And if you could mirror them as the next turn even more, awesome. And then it comes back to the leader. If you can get to obviously 4 or less, you flip the card over, and if your war party has 5 cards, he has crit. And he attacks and draws, and that is... Oh, and when he awakens, you pull a card back from your warp. So you can bring back another a super combo if it already got there on accident, or if you want another Relentless Destruction Mira back, or let's say one of your 5 drops or something like that, or something that you need accidentally got dropped in there. Well, no problem. You can get it back. There's some other options, obviously, for the deck. And some of the stuff that it really kind of it hurts on is you can't do that much removal in this version of it. Another version that we have talked about, at least Parrish and I have talked about a little bit, is running, well, as soon as this loads, silly thing, is to run Mass Saiyan, which I'll just put it in front because I happen to have one right here. Obviously, this is your Overrealm 5 for 1 that says double strike, 20k. But if he comes in, remove up to 5 cost of cards that don't have blocker. That's another way. I'd probably put that in the side deck. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and put this in the. I'm gonna build this like I would the going to regionals or something. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd probably actually throw in 2 foos because you don't want them to call it Bloodlust or anything else. At that point, I would probably drop. The first things that I would drop out of the deck are some of the like 1 each of the 17s and 18s, because that'll give you enough slots for those 6. Well, yeah, That would give you enough slots for those 6. And then if I was looking for other green cards, Potential is Cell's Birth, especially if you want to always have the threat of being able to drop a Cell 3-drop for 2. Or if you want to be able to drop any of the 5 drops for cheaper, for 3, or if you want to be able to just pop out 7-drop for 5. The other side of it is that you've also got now some other 1-drops that are really useful for this. Let's see here. Is it a 1? Is the new Gohan a 1-drop? Oh my gosh. Well, if nothing else, I'd probably also side deck Enraged by 2, only because there's so much Victory Strike out there right now, and instead of having to worry about getting that out, at least then you can KO it easily without having to combo against it. And for whatever reason, I was thinking there was a green Gohan that had crit that I am just not seeing at the moment. From there, it's Tenshinhan and yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with Kale in the side deck. I'd probably only actually do 2. And that's just because 4 energy for this deck is really hard to get to. And I'm just not sure that you get enough out of it for that, more than 2. And, well, yeah, I guess you could technically splash Victory Strike too. I hadn't even think about that. It'd actually probably be even a better turn 7 or turn 8 play than another Cell, if the game ever went that long. Yeah, just move 4 Tiens, because they could be trying to hold you back on life, and Tien then lets you also get have more removal. Well, and then at that point I might as well add I'd actually do 3 Tiens and to go back to the standard green androids with 16. And yeah, again, I'll keep this. I'll have this set to the side for everybody, so that we can have. What was it? I'll have this set to the side for everybody. Both in our list here on our account here for DBS-Dex. I will Mira Androids. It's just not private. Our account here is OpenSeat Network, and I'll just link people to it if they want. Sorry, I wanted to answer a quick question through Messenger. Apologies. Yeah, Eric is a cool dude, man. He's one of my best friends. Him and I have been friends for quite a while. He used to live in Abilene, and so did I forever. And yeah, that's what we actually started this channel together and everything. But yeah, anyway, I don't think you really want to watch me watch this. But yeah, this is the base deck. Let me save it. And then visual view. There we go. This gives you a good idea, I think, of what I'm looking at in my version. It just depends on the person, what they want. This is just a version of the Mira deck. Let's see here. There it goes. But yeah, I'm also going to link over Gas, and I guess I'll link over the Mira deck as well on the Twitch channel here in just a minute. But yeah, that's the end of tonight's little broadcast. I'm sorry that I didn't have more content for this evening. Might do a couple of other quick deck profiles as I kick stuff around here in the next few days. If you guys have questions, obviously feel free to drop by. Literally, if you look for Open Seat Network pretty much anywhere, that's Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can always find us at that username, and the reason for that is we wanted to make it easy. The philosophy is that we always have an open seat for anybody that wants to play with us. We are always trying to be inclusive for anybody that wants to get into gaming. We obviously hope that you come back by. If you don't like what you see, obviously give me some tips. Give me what you think would look better. I'm sorry that my partner couldn't get out here tonight for this particular talk. We really normally just go back and forth on each other and have a lot of fun, but internet issues, it's just how it is. But yeah, thanks for coming out tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you, again, anything that we can do for you, just let us know. If you have other questions, please feel free. Have a good night, guys.